25th of November, Rabbi Levitt, Gemora.
Okay, welcome back, everybody. Good morning, Phil.
No, I'll have to leave it for about 5 minutes early, so don't worry. Okay.
Oh, okay. So let's get right down to it. We're up to let's go from Boy Rava. Boy Rava is about 8 lines from the top of Yud Beis Amud Aleph. Last 3 lines in the line. First word in the line is Afopi. Ayin Aleph Ayin Pei. This is a case of throwing the Arnaki in one door of the house and going out the other door of the house and doesn't land in the house. Just travels through the airspace of the house.
This is 12A1 on the right paragraph, top of the right.
Okay, so Alan, would you like to start the reading? You have some quiet, peace and quiet over there?
Yes, right now it is. There's a guy at the window working on.
Be right back.
12A1, this is left-hand paragraph.
12A1, the top of the right.
Gemora elaborates or Gemora seeks?
Rabbah, 12A1, Rabbah inquired. Right paragraph.
Omar Levi or
12A1, right paragraph, top, right side.
Gemora seeks to answer this inquiry.
No, Rabbah inquired, right on the top of the right on 12A1.
Oh, okay, right, okay. Rabbah inquired. E. Rabbah. So Rock Noki Pesach Seh by Tzar Pesach Echad. Rabbah inquired, if one threw a purse in this doorway and went out another doorway, Mahu, what is the law? Does the owner of the house acquired a purse? So far, Metzia. This enters the airspace of a place in which the article is not destined to come to rest. Although considered as if it is resting in that place or not. The more seeks to answer this inquiry.
Okay. So before we get to the answer, let's try to understand what the question is. Rashi has a whole dissertation over here about what the Rava's question is all about. And so the first Rashi starts with Zorak Arnaki.
Okay, let me see where that one, Zorak Arnaki, try to find where that says the Zorak Arnaki on the Rashi. Oh yeah, there it is. Okay, he throws purse. The Hefkiro L'Kol HaKodem, and it's Hefka to all who comes first to get it.
Right. Now Rashi's got to say that because otherwise, if he didn't intend to relinquish ownership of it, so it's totally irrelevant whether it's regarded as though it landed in the house or not, because he didn't ever relinquish ownership of it. But here we're saying that he relinquished ownership of it. He was mafkir it, and now it's available to be acquired. So is it going to be? Now we got a question: Did the owner of the house acquire it or not when it went through the airspace of the house? Okay, next Rashi, she'ein sofo lanuach.
And at the end, its end isn't to rest anywhere. So it's going over the airspace without landing in the middle somehow. It's going to continue past this place. Okay. Betoch there, within the air, within the airspace.
Yeah, I wish I don't. Rashi's right. Betoch the avir, meaning the avir of the house. Why Rashi didn't say the avir of the house, I don't know, but that's undoubtedly what he means. So it's not going to rest over there. Of course, it's going to rest at some point. It's gonna have to rest when it gets tired. It's going to rest on wherever it goes, but not in the house. It's just going to go through the airspace of the house. That's the case. So now we want to know avir shein sofa lanuach. It's not going to rest in the house. It's going to go right through. Kamunach dami olo. Is it nevertheless regarded in halacha as though it actually did rest? So that's this next long Rashi. What's the question all about? Okay, so Phil, would you like to try to start the reading?
Which where we after now? We're up to Rabba.
Kamunach dibra maskel kamunach dami.
Oh, you want me to continue with the Rashi?
Oh, Lou just came back. Maybe Lou wants to take a try.
Okay, you want me to do the Rashi?
Rashi, yes. Rashi dibra maskel kamunach dami. If it gets too long, you could pass the baton.
Okay, it's a long one.
Okay, let me see if I can find it.
Kamunach dami.
It's the last word in the line, and it's about 8 lines down. Narrow lines of Rashi, 8 lines down.
It's right across the hoop on the Gemora.
Dami. Ukinahu Vikano Bal Habayis Harishon O Lav Ke Munach Dami Le Hani Zilahachi Boye Oyer She'ain Sufo Le Noach Betoch Habayis Ke Munach Dami. Wow, this is long. Let me see if I can translate. The Balabai is the owner of the house acquires initially or not.
The first Habal Avayat Harishon, the first owner, the first homeowner.
I'm sorry. What did you say?
Harishon is defining the word Baal Habayit. The first homeowner.
The first homeowner acquires it or not. Kamunach dummies, is it also rests?
Olav Kamunat Dami. Or maybe we'll say that it's not regarded as though it rested on the side that it rested. So then we say that the Balabais Rishon would acquire the Arnaki. Or do we say Olav Kamunat Dami? Or do we say no? It didn't acquire. It didn't rest. We don't regard it as though it rested.
Okay, that because here it's needed.
I'm in the middle of a share.
This word,
Thanks for calling. Bye. Okay, sorry.
This word Aleph Vav Yud Resh. I don't know.
Avir, air. That's Avir, air.
Avir.
Avir, yeah, Avir. It's the airspace.
It needs air. She'ain sofa, that it doesn't end lenuach by resting. B'toch habayis, inside the house. Kamenuach dami, that it rests somewhere else.
The Haki Boyd, and therefore accordingly we're posing the question about the Avir, about the airspace of this first house. She'ein sofa lanuach b'toch habayis. That it's not actually going to rest at all inside on the ground in that house. Do we say nevertheless it's kamunach dami? Do we say that in halacha we regard it, since it traveled through the airspace, we're going to regard it for some reason, Rashi's going to explain us hopefully, we're going to regard it in halacha as kimunak dami, as though it had actually landed, and accordingly the Balabais Rishon would acquire the Arnaki, because it landed in his property, in his house.
Uh-huh. De'elu Avir she'haya sofo lenuach b'toch habayis. So let's see, that's it.
The ilu, that if it would be avir, airspace, shaya sofo lanuach, that would eventually rest b'toch habayis inside that first house. If that would be the factual scenario that we would be dealing with. Shitalan.
The obvious. Dafilu kodem ish acher. That even before another person uklata. What's uklata?
He gathered it in.
It gathered,
absorbed, literally, but it doesn't translate well.
Ha'avir, he gathered it within the air.
Afilu kodem ish acher. Even if a different person who didn't own this house, he was kodem. He went ahead before and kolta and gathered it in betocha avir, inside in the airspace. Lo kona. He would not be kona, that person.
So
In other
even
words,
if there was another person in the house and he grabbed the thing inside the house, he would not acquire it.
even before it landed, I think.
Right, because it's in the air.
Wouldn't, why not?
Dimash nichnim
The Misha Nichnas,
Demisha nichnas la'avir kano balabayas. That when it's in the air, the balabayas owns it.
yes. And he's talking about the case, which is not our case. He's talking about the case where if it would be a case that where the Arnaki would land in that house, if it was calculated to land in that house. In other words, it wasn't thrown with such strength that it's going to go straight through the house without landing at all, but it was thrown in such a way that it would have landed in that house. In that case, that it would have landed in that house. So Rashi's saying, even if there's going to be a person who's going to grab it in midair before it lands, even in that scenario, that person, that grabber, will not acquire it, because in this scenario, when it's sofa lanuach, when it's calculated to land on the ground in that house, Rashi says it already from the point that it entered into the house, the misha niknas la'avir, already from the time that it entered into the airspace of that house, konu balabais, the balabais already acquired it.
That is bizarre.
Yeah, that's going to need explanation. Why is that so? And it looks like Rashi's going to explain right now. Why is that so?
Visnan be Meseches Gittin, as we learned in the tractate of Gittin, Haisa Omedes be Rosh Hagag. This that it is standing on the top of the ceiling of the roof.
Top of the roof, yeah.
The Zerak lo get. He threw to her a get.
Oh.
Kevan she nichnas la'avir. Even if it lands in the air, nichnas, it enters the air.
Enters into even at the point that it enters into the airspace of the roof. Before it lands.
Hare zu migoreshes. Behold, she is divorced. Who lemala v'haya lemata.
V'hi lemata.
It is above and she is below.
Well, he's above. He has the upper hand, and she has the.
Now he's talking about a different case. All of a sudden, he just got through telling us one case where she was Haisa Omedes Barosh Agag, where the woman was standing on the top of the roof, and he threw it to her He threw it up. I guess he threw it to her from wherever it was that he was. Doesn't matter where he was. Rashi said that since it at the point that the get enters the airspace, which is above the Gog, even before it lands, even before it comes into her hand, Harezu Megareshes, she is already validly Megareshes because it came into the airspace. And so that's what Rashi's bringing us as a proof to his proposition in the case of the Ish Acher that grabbed it out of midair in the person's house. That person won't acquire it because the owner of the house, already acquired it once it got into the airspace of the inside of the house, if it was Sofa Lanuach in that house. And the proof is, says Rashi, from this case in the Maseches Gittin. So he brought that first case when she's on the top and he's, I guess, presumably on the bottom. And now, what about the opposite scenario? Hu lamala. Let's say he's on top, vihi lamala amata, and she's now on the bottom, meaning on the ground, I guess. What's the din in that case?
Kevan sheyitza mar mirshus hagag nim sak o nis rak hare zu migareshes. Since what is sheyiza?
Yotza Kevan sheyotza, since it went out.
Since it went out from the ownership of the roof.
Rishus doesn't mean ownership; it means the property, I guess. The area that of the Gog.
The domain, maybe.
Yeah, the domain of the Gog. Since it leaves the domain of the Gog, which is where the man was standing and he threw it from, so it went out of his domain.
And what is nimsak?
Nimchat. If it was erased, if the get somehow, some way, I don't know, but Rashi says if it got erased.
Oh, nisraf, or it was burned.
Yeah.
Hare zu megareshes. She's still divorced.
Yeah.
Wow. So she acquired it when it flew over her. And it lands in the fire and burns up. Nevertheless, she's divorced.
Right. Since it left to the reshus of the Gog, it's now in the reshus where she is, I guess. In the air, and even before it lands, even if something's going to happen to it to destroy it, she's already been divorced once it got into that airspace, which was out of the reshus of the Gog.
Wait, I'm confused. I thought she was on the Gog.
That's the first case. Rashi's telling us two cases over here.
Where is she in the second case? She's off the Gog?
In the second case,
he's on the Gog, and
the Gemora said, Rashi said, Hu lamala v'hi lamata.
So he's on the Gog and she's on the ground?
Yeah, that's the second case.
And he throws it off the roof to where she is?
Yeah.
And it lands in the fire?
Yeah.
So why did she acquire it? Is it her courtyard she's standing in?
Yeah, it's not really so clear from why it does work. It's a question we'd have to look up the Gemora over there. I truly don't really know why it is that Rashi need to tell us that case in any case, because it's clear from the first case that Rashi says that illustrates his point. But in any case, that's a question on Rashi, but it's neither here nor there. So you want to know how it is that she already acquires it. Rashi says she already acquired it from the point that it left the reshus of the Gog, which is where the man was.
Right. I don't get it.
Yeah, so they'd have to take a look over there in the Gemora and Gittin. But the main point is that however it is that she's acquiring it over there, but we see that it doesn't have to land in her hand. It doesn't even have to land on the ground where she's standing. It's already regarded as an effective giving of the get before the, all of that, and so therefore you see that she can acquire something even once it enters into the airspace of her domain. That's really the point that Rashi is proving to us from this Gemora in Gittin. And he has two cases. One case is when she's on the top of the Gog, and the husband is on the bottom. That's the first case. So he throws it up. So even at the point that it enters into the airspace of the Gog, it's already an effective giving of the get, and she'll be divorced even before it comes, even before it lands. So you already see from the first case that Rashi quoted that you don't need that it land in order for the kinyan to be effective. The kinyan is already effective once it enters the airspace where it is eventually going to land. But Rashi's saying only in the case where we know it's going to eventually land in that domain do we say this. But if it's not, but Rava's question is not about a case like that. Rava's question is about a case where the person's throwing the arnaki from in one door and it goes out the other door, and it wasn't sofa lanuach. It was not calculated to be landing anywhere. So then the question would be, well, nevertheless, do we say that since it went through the airspace of that house, that maybe in halacha it's regarded as though it was that it landed there, and accordingly that would be a kinyan for the balabais rishon. Rashi doesn't really explain why it would work. He just shows us that we're not talking about the other case where we would know the answer to the question. He doesn't really explain us why what's really involved and why we would think it would work, which is what we would like to know. But anyway, okay, maybe that's going to be coming. That's going to be coming. So now we have this shaila. So now let's read further. The Gemora is going to try to answer, prove what the din is in this case. Amalei Rav Papa Rava. Rav Papa said to Rava. Rava was the one that asked the shaila, so Rav Papa is responding to Rava, and presumably he's going to try to bring him a proof what the din is. Okay, so Alan, would you like to read the answer? Amalei Rav Papa, the Rava.
It's 12A1, Alan, on the right-hand column, second paragraph. The Gemora seeks to answer.
Okay. Gemora seeks to answer the inquiry. Amalei Rav Papa, Rav Papa responded to Rava. Imre Rav Bar Masnor Vor. And some say that it was Rav Ada Bar Masna who responded to Rava. Well, Imaray let law Rabbi Noah law. And some say that it was Ravina who responded to Rabbah. La
I'll call you back. Bye-bye.
This Soyim, is this not the case of a Mishnah? So, what seen Ahara, Ama Tzinor, the Mishnah stated that if he saw the people running after a find, a lame deer or young pigeons that never flew, etc. Amar Rav Yirma Omar Rabbi Yochanan, and an explanation Rabbi Yirma said in the name of Rabbi Yochanan, who Shetwatz Rehen Omadio provided that the field owner can run after the animals and reach them before they leave the field. Ray Rabbi Rav required what is the law in the case of a gift? Rabbi Omar Kar and Rav Abba Bar Kahana accepted the distinction suggested by Rabbi Yirma. Sona Af Al-Api Shemwatz Acha Rihen Ain Amakion, and in the case of a gift, the recipient will require the animals, even if he cannot reach them, to run after them. At any rate, it is clear that the field can acquire the animals for its owner, even though they will run through it without stopping to rest inside. Similarly, in Rabba's case, the house will acquire the person passing through its airspace.
Okay. Okay, Lou, you got a Rashi over here.
Okay. Let's see. Ve'eno minaan
Magian.
Makian. Ve'eno Makian. And it's not resting. Ve'eno Magian.
Magian is describing that he's running after the find, this item that he wants to acquire, and he's not able to catch up to it to grab it.
Ah, right. Okay. Alma mis galgalin v'yotzin hein ve'ein sofan lenuach uke amar dekane le sadehu. So forever, Alma, forever, it is rolling.
Alma means so we see.
Oh, so we see from something that's rolling, the Yotz Ain. What's Yotz Ain? They go out.
Yeah, going out of the property, I guess.
And it's not in the end going to rest.
Right.
It's not going to stop. It's going to keep going out.
Right.
It's rolling along. He's likening the animals running to something that's rolling, and they're not going to stop inside the field. Ukamar dikne, and we say that it is acquired by the field. So since the animals are acquired by the field, even though they're not going to stop, then the thing that goes through the house would also be acquired by the house. I think that's the logic.
Wow, that is quite a proof. I don't really quite follow it. I'd have to think about this for a while. But there's many differences over here. We're saying the case of Megalgaline, it's standing on the ground of the karka of the sada, of the owner of the sada, which is not so in the case of this Arnaki over here. Never landed anywhere. It's just in the airspace. How do we get to say that? I don't understand the proof.
Anyway, our time is up, and I've got a call coming in.
Okay. Have a great day, everybody.
Hello.
Bye, Lou. Bye, Alan.
Right. We'll see you later, right?
Yeah, 10:04.
Okay.